Chapter 1. The Village. My name is Sam. I was born in a small village. It was 1995. My family was poor. My father was a farmer. My mother cooked and cleaned. I had no brothers or sisters. We lived in a little house. It had one room. The village was quiet. Trees and fields were all around. I liked the village, but I wanted more. I dreamed of the city. I heard stories about it. Tall buildings, bright lights, busy streets. My father said, "The city is far. Stay here. Work on the farm." My mother said, "It's safe here." But I didn't listen. When I was 16, I made a plan. I wanted to leave. I saved money. I helped my father with the farm. I sold vegetables. It took 2 years. Then I had enough. One night, I packed a bag. I took clothes and food. I left a note. It said, "I'm going to the city. I'll be okay." The next morning, I walked. The village was behind me. The road was long. I was excited. I didn't know what would happen, but I felt free. Chapter 2. The road I walked for hours. The sun was hot. My bag was heavy. I saw birds and trees. No people. I ate bread from my bag. I drank water from a bottle. My legs hurt, but I kept going. In the afternoon, I heard a noise. It was a truck. An old man drove it. He stopped. He asked, "Where are you going?" I said, "To the city." He smiled. He said, "Get in. I'll take you." The truck was loud. It smelled like oil. The man's name was Tom. He talked a lot. He said, "The city is big. Be careful." I nodded. I looked out the window. Fields turned to houses. Houses turned to tall buildings. We were close. Tom stopped near a bus station. He said, "Good luck, Sam." I thanked him. I got out. The city was loud. People walked fast. Cars honked. I felt small, but I was happy. I was here. Chapter 3. The City. I walked into the city. It was night. Lights were everywhere. Shops were open. People shouted. I didn't know where to go. My bag felt heavier. I was hungry. I found a small shop. It sold food. I bought a sandwich. It cost most of my money. I sat on a bench. I ate. I watched people. They didn't look at me. I felt alone. A girl sat next to me. She had short hair. She said, "Are you new?" I said, "Yes. I'm from a village." She smiled. Her name was Lily. She said, "I can help you. Follow me." Lily took me to a house. It was old. She said, "You can sleep here tonight." The room was small. It had a bed and a lamp. I thanked her. I slept. I dreamed of home, but I didn't want to go back. Chapter 4. The Job. The next day, Lily woke me. She said, "You need work. Come with me." We walked to a market. It was busy. People sold fruit, clothes, and fish. Lily knew a man there. His name was Mr. Chen. He had a fruit stall. Mr. Chen looked at me. He said, "Can you carry boxes?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Start now. I'll pay you." I worked all day. I carried heavy boxes. My arms hurt, but I liked it. At the end, Mr. Chen gave me money. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Lily said, "Good job. Save your money." I did. Every day I worked for Mr. Chen. I learned the city. I learned the streets. I made friends. Lily was my best friend. She was kind. She taught me how to live here. Chapter 5. The Rain. One day it rained. The market was wet. People didn't come. Mr. Chen said, "No work today." I had no money for food. I went to Lily's house. She wasn't there. I sat outside. I was cold. A boy saw me. He said, "Come with me." His name was Max. He took me to a shed. It was dry. He gave me a blanket. He said, "I live here. You can stay." Max was poor like me. He had no family. We talked. He said, "The city is hard, but we can help each other." The rain stopped. Lily found me. She said, "I was worried." I told her about Max. She said, "He's nice. You're lucky." Max, Lily, and I became a team. We shared food. We shared money. The city felt less lonely. Chapter 6. The Dream. Months passed. I worked hard. I saved money. I wanted my own place, not a shed, not Lily's house. a real home. I told Lily and Max. They said, "We'll help." We looked for a room. It was small. It had one window. It cost a lot. I didn't have enough. Max said, "I'll work too." Lily said, "Me too." Max helped at the market. Lily cleaned houses. We saved together. One day we had enough. I rented the room. It was mine. Max and Lily came to see it. We ate bread and laughed. I looked out the window. The city lights were bright. I wasn't a village boy anymore. I was a city man. But I missed my parents. I wrote a letter. I said, "I'm okay. I have a home. Visit me." I sent it. I hoped they'd come. Chapter 7. The Visit. One morning, someone knocked. I opened the door. It was my father and mother. They looked tired. My mother hugged me. My father said, "We got your letter." I was so happy. I showed them my room. It was small, but they smiled. My mother said, "You did well." My father said, "The city is big. I'm proud." They stayed for a day. We walked. I showed them the market. I showed them Lily and Max. At night, they left. My mother said, "Come visit us too." I said, "I will." I watched them go. I felt good. I had the city. I had my family. I had friends. My dream came true. Chapter 8. The market, trouble life in the city was good. I worked at Mr. Chen's fruit stall every day. Lily cleaned houses. Max helped at the market too. We shared the small room. It was crowded, but we were happy. One day, trouble came. A big man visited the market. His name was Jack. He wore a black coat. He said to Mr. Chen, "Give me money, or I'll break your stall." Mr. Chen was scared. He said, "I don't have much." Jack got angry. He pushed a box of apples. It fell. The apples rolled everywhere. I watched. I didn't know what to do. Max whispered, "Jack takes money from everyone." Lily said, "He's bad. We need to stop him." But we were small. Jack was big. That night we talked. I said, "Mr. Chen is nice. We can't let Jack hurt him." Max said, "Let's tell the market people." Lily said, "Yes, together we're strong." We made a plan. Chapter 9. The Plan. The next day we talked to the market workers. There was Sarah who sold fish. She said, "Jack takes my money too." There was Ali who sold clothes. He said, "I'm tired of him." Many people hated Jack. They wanted to fight back. We met in my room. It was small. We sat on the floor. I said, "Jack comes every week. Let's stop him together." Sarah said, "I'll shout if he comes." Ali said, "I'll block his way." Max said, "I'll get the police." Lily said, "I'll tell everyone to help." We waited. A week passed. Then Jack came. He walked to Mr. Chen's stall. He said, "Give me money now." Sarah shouted, "He's here." Ali stood in front. He said, "No more." People came out. They yelled at Jack. Max ran for the police. Jack looked scared. He tried to push Ali, but we all stood together. The police came fast. They took Jack away. Mr. Chen smiled. He said, "Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone." Chapter 10. The Reward. The market felt safe again. Mr. Chen was happy. One day he called me. He said, "Sam, you're brave. I have a gift." He gave me a box. Inside was money. He said, "It's for you, Lily, and Max." I was surprised. I said, "Thank you." We shared the money. Lily said, "Let's make our room better." Max said, "I want a bed." I said, "And a table." We bought things. The room looked nice. We had 2 beds, a table, and chairs. It felt like home. The market people liked us. Sarah gave us fish. Ali gave us shirts. We didn't feel poor anymore. I wrote to my parents. I said, "The city is good now. I helped people. Come see." Chapter 11. The New Friend. One day, a boy came to the market. He was thin. His clothes were old. He looked hungry. He stood near my stall. I said, "Hi, what's your name?" He said, "Ben." His voice was quiet. I asked, "Are you okay?" He said, "No. I have no home." I felt sad for him. I gave him an apple. He ate it fast. Lily saw him. She said, He can stay with us. Max said, yes, we have space now. We took Ben to our room. He slept on the floor. He didn't talk much, but he smiled. The next day, I took him to Mr. Chen. I said, can Ben work? Mr. Chen said, yes. He can help you. Ben carried boxes with me. He was strong. He learned fast. He said, thank you, Sam. I was alone before. I said, now you're not. Our team grew. Me, Lily, Max, and Ben. Chapter 12. The big day, months passed. The market got busy. People came from far away. Mr. Chen said, we need more fruit. I worked harder. Ben helped. One day, a man in a suit came. He said, I'm from a big store. I want your fruit. Mr. Chen was excited. He said, Sam, this is big. They'll pay a lot. We sent fruit to the store. Money came. Mr. Chen gave me more. He said, you're my best worker. That night, we celebrated. Lily cooked fish. Max bought bread. Ben smiled more. I said, we're doing well. Let's dream bigger. Lily said, maybe our own stall. Max said, or a shop. Ben said, I just want to stay. I thought of my village. I missed it sometimes. But the city was my home now. I wrote to my parents again. I said, visit soon. Bring vegetables. We'll sell them. Chapter 13. The Return. One day, my parents came. They brought a bag of carrots and potatoes. My mother hugged me. My father said, you look strong. I showed them the market. They met Lily, Max, and Ben. My mother said, you have good friends. We sold the vegetables fast. People liked them. My father said, village food is special here. I said, let's sell more. They smiled. They stayed for a week. We worked together. My mother cooked for us. My father helped at the stall. Before they left, my father said, come visit us. Bring your friends. I said, we will. They went home. I felt happy. The city and village were both mine now. Chapter 14. The future life got better. We saved more money. One day, Mr. Chen said, Sam, I'm old. Take my stall. I was shocked. I said, me? He said, yes. You're ready. I took the stall. Lily, Max, and Ben helped. We sold fruit and vegetables. People knew us. We made a sign. It said, Sam's Fresh Market. I felt proud. We visited my village. My parents were happy. Lily liked the quiet. Max liked the fields. Ben said, it's peaceful. We brought city things to sell. We mixed both worlds. I looked at my friends. I looked at the stall. I thought, this is my life now. The city was hard at first, but I made it mine, and I wasn't alone. Chapter 15. The New Stall. I owned the stall now. It was mine. Mr. Chen retired. He said, Sam, you're good at this. I felt big. Lily, Max, and Ben worked with me. We sold fruit and vegetables every day. The sign said, Sam's Fresh Market. People liked it. One morning a woman came. She had a red hat. She said, I'm Mrs. Lee. I own a restaurant. I need fresh food. I showed her apples and carrots. She smiled. She said, I'll buy every week. It was good news. More money. We worked harder. Max carried boxes. Lily talked to customers. Ben cleaned the stall. I counted the money. At night, we were tired, but happy. Lily said, we're a real team. I said, yes, and we're growing. Chapter 16. The Thief. One day, trouble came again. I left the stall for lunch. Ben stayed. When I came back, he said, someone took apples. I looked. A bag was gone. I was mad. We worked hard for that. Max said, I saw a boy. He ran that way. We looked around. Lily found the boy. He was small. He hid behind a wall. He held the apples. I said, why did you take them? He said, I'm hungry. I have no money. I felt bad. He looked like Ben when we met. I said, don't steal. Come to me if you're hungry. I gave him an apple. His name was Tim. He said, thank you. Lily said, he can help us. I agreed. Tim started working. He was fast. We had a new friend. Chapter 17. The Big Order. Mrs. Lee came back. She said, I need more. My restaurant is busy. She wanted 10 boxes of fruit and vegetables. It was a lot. I said, we can do it. But I was worried. We didn't have enough. I called my parents. I said, can you send food from the village? My father said, yes. We'll bring it. 2 days later, they came. They had potatoes, carrots, and onions. I hugged them. We filled the boxes. Mrs. Lee was happy. She paid us well. That night, my parents stayed. My mother said, you're a businessman now. My father said, the village helps the city. I smiled. I said, we're a team too. Chapter 18. The Storm. One night, a storm came. Wind was loud, rain was heavy. The market closed. Our stall had a roof, but water came in. Boxes got wet. Apples fell. I said, we need to save it. We ran to the stall. Max held a tarp. Lily and Ben moved boxes. Tim helped me cover the fruit. The wind pushed us. We got wet, but we saved most of it. The next day, the sun came out. We dried the stall. People came back. They bought extra. They said, you're strong. I was proud. We didn't give up. Lily said, storms can't stop us. Max laughed. Ben and Tim nodded. We were tougher now. Chapter 19. The Trip. We worked hard for months. We saved a lot. I said, let's take a break. Let's visit my village. Lily said, yes, I want to see it again. Max said, I'll pick vegetables. Ben said, I'll rest. Tim said, I've never been. We took a bus. It was long. The village was quiet. My parents waited. My mother cooked soup. My father showed us the farm. Lily loved the flowers. Max carried potatoes. Ben slept under a tree. Tim ran with the chickens. I felt home. We stayed a week. We brought food back. The city felt loud after the village, but it was ours. I said, we'll visit more. Everyone agreed. Chapter 20. The Shop. One day, Mrs. Lee said, Sam, open a shop. My restaurant needs more. I thought about it. A shop was big. The stall was small. I talked to Lily, Max, Ben, and Tim. They said, let's do it. We found a place. It was near the market. It had a big window. It cost a lot. We used all our savings. My parents sent money too. We cleaned it. We painted it green. We made shelves. We moved fruit and vegetables in. The sign said, Sam's Fresh Shop. The first day was busy. Mrs. Lee bought a lot. Other people came. We smiled all day. At night, we sat in the shop. Max said, it's ours. Lily said, we're not poor now. Ben said, I feel safe. Tim said, this is fun. I said, we did it together. Chapter 21. The Family. A year later, the shop was big. We had workers. Tim stayed with us. He was like a brother. One day, my parents visited. They brought my uncle. He said, Sam, you're famous in the village. We showed them the shop. My mother said, it's beautiful. My father said, you mixed the village and city. My uncle said, I'll send food too. We ate together. Lily cooked. Max told jokes. Ben and Tim played cards. That night, I looked at everyone. My parents, my friends, the shop. I thought, this is my family now. I started with a dream. I walked a long road. I found more than I wanted. Chapter 22. The Delivery. The shop was busy every day. People came for fruit and vegetables. Mrs. Lee bought more for her restaurant. One day she said, Sam, can you bring food to me? I don't have time to come. I said, yes, I can. I needed a way to deliver. We had no car. Max said, let's use bikes. Lily found 2 old bikes. Ben fixed them. Tim painted them green. I said, they're perfect. We put baskets on the bikes. We filled them with apples, carrots, and potatoes. Max and I rode to Mrs. Lee's restaurant. The streets were busy. Cars honked. We pedaled fast. Mrs. Lee was happy. She said, this is great. Come every week. She paid extra. I said, we'll grow bigger now. Chapter 23. The New Idea. Back at the shop, I told Lily, Ben, and Tim. They liked the delivery idea. Lily said, more people might want this. I thought, she's right. We made a plan. We told customers, we can bring food to you. A man named Mr. Patel called. He owned a small store. He said, "Bring me vegetables." A woman named Anna asked for fruit. She had a cafe. Soon, we had 5 deliveries a week. The bikes were busy. Max said, "We need more help." I hired a girl named Rose. She was strong. She rode a bike too. Tim taught her. We had a team now. The shop made more money. I said, "This is working." Chapter 24. The Lost Bike. One day, trouble came. Rose went to deliver. She didn't come back. We waited. Ben said, "Where is she?" I got worried. We looked for her. Lily found the bike. It was on a street. The basket was empty. No Rose. Max said, "Someone stole the food." I called Rose. She answered. She said, "I'm okay." A man took the basket. I chased him, but he ran. She was safe. I said, "Come back." We lost the food. I was mad, but Lily said, "We can't stop now." We bought a lock for the bikes. Ben said, "No one will take them again." Rose smiled. She said, "I'll be careful." We kept going. Chapter 25. The Big Chance. One morning, a man in a blue suit came to the shop. He said, "I'm Mr. Kim. I work for a supermarket. We want your food." I was surprised. A supermarket was huge. I said, "We're small. Can we do it?" Mr. Kim said, "Yes. Your food is fresh. Start with 10 boxes." I told the team. Max said, "That's a lot." Lily said, "We need more bikes." Ben said, "And more people." Tim said, "I'll work extra." I called my parents. They sent more vegetables. My uncle helped too. We hired 2 boys, Jake and Leo. They rode bikes. We filled 10 boxes. We delivered to the supermarket. Mr. Kim said, "Good job, we'll buy more." I felt big. The shop was growing fast. Chapter 26. The Busy Days. The supermarket order made us busy. We woke early. We packed boxes. Jake and Leo rode fast. Rose and Max went to restaurants. Lily and Ben stayed at the shop. Tim helped everywhere. I counted money at night. One day, we ran out of apples. Customers got mad. I said, "Sorry." "More tomorrow." I called my uncle. He said, "I'll send apples." They came the next day. We worked late. Lily said, "This is hard." I said, "But it's good." We bought a 3rd bike. Rose painted it green. We were tired, but the money was good. Max said, "We're not small anymore." I smiled. He was right. Chapter 27. The Party. After weeks of work, I said, "Let's rest. Let's have a party." Lily said, "Yes, we deserve it." We planned it at the shop. My parents came. My uncle, too. Mrs. Lee brought food from her restaurant. Mr. Kim came with cake. We closed the shop early. We put tables outside. Lily cooked soup. Max played music. Ben and Tim danced. Jake and Leo ate a lot. Rose laughed. My mother said, "You're all family now." My father said, "I'm proud." I looked at everyone. The village people, the city friends, the workers. I said, "Thank you. We did this together." We ate and talked all night. The city lights shone. I felt happy. Chapter 28. The Next Step. The party gave me an idea. I said, "Let's open another shop." Max said, "Where?" Lily said, "Near the supermarket." Ben said, "More bikes too." Tim said, "I'll help build it." We saved money again. My parents sent more. Mr. Kim said, "I'll buy from both shops." We found a place. It was bigger. We painted it green. We made shelves. We hired 2 more workers, Mia and Dan. The sign said, "Sam's Fresh Shop 2. The first day was big. People came. The bikes rode everywhere. I stood in the new shop. Lily said, "You dreamed this." I said, "Yes. And it's real." The village boy was gone. I was a city man with 2 shops.